Hello and welcome to the video where we'll be going over the 7 best books on habits. Now this video is going to be perfect for you if you're looking to create some more healthy habits or even if you're looking to break some of the bad habits that you currently have. This video will be perfect for you. Now I've not only pulled out the 7 best books on habits, but I also have pulled out some of the best quotes to share them with you here today. Now before we get into the video, I'll quickly introduce myself. I'm Ethan Schwant, an entrepreneur and a coach. I make YouTube videos that are book lists just like this one and mind map videos, which are much more in-depth, 30 minutes to an hour long, on one specific book to help you pull out some of the most important big ideas from those books. I create these videos every single weekday, so consider subscribing. And with that, we'll move on to book number 1, which is Atomic Habits by James Clear. I love this book. Some of the great quotes from this book include, "You do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems," and that you should be far more concerned with your current trajectory than your current results. The final quote is, "Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you wish to become. No single instance will transform your beliefs, but as the votes build up, so does the evidence of your new identity." This really is the pinnacle book for me as far as habits are concerned by James Clear. Now we'll move on to book number 2, which is The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. Jumpstart your income, your life, and your success. He's the publisher of Success Magazine. Some of the great quotes include, "You will never change your life until you change something that you do daily. The secret of your success is found in your daily routine, and that you are not alone. You alone are responsible for what you do, don't do, or how you respond to what's done to you." And really the core of the entire book, The Compound Effect, is small, smart choices plus consistency plus time equals a radical difference. Very important. Now the next book is The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg, book number 3. Some of the great quotes from this book include, "Change might not be fast, and it isn't always easy, but with the time and effort, almost any habit can be reshaped. Typically, people who exercise start eating better and become more productive at work. They smoke less and show more patience with colleagues and family. They use their credit cards less frequently and say they feel less stressed. Exercise is a keystone habit that triggers widespread change." And I totally agree with this one. The golden rule of habit change. You can't extinguish a bad habit, you can only change it. That's really the second book that I would recommend you absolutely must read on habits and habit change. Book number 3 in our list, though. Moving on to book number 4. It's The 5-Second Rule by Mel Robbins. This one is a fairly new book, but it's very interesting concept. She says in the book that you can't always control how you feel, but you can always choose how you act, and that you are one decision away from a completely different life. Hesitation is the kiss of death. You might hesitate for just a nanosecond, but that's all it takes. That one small hesitation triggers a mental system that's designed to stop you. And it happens in less than, you guessed it, 5 seconds. Now moving on to book number 5, which is The One Thing by Gary Keller. Some great quotes from this book include, "Work is a rubber ball. If you drop it, it will bounce back. The other 4 balls, family, health, friends, integrity, are made of glass. If you drop one of these, it can be irrevocably scuffed, nicked, or perhaps even shattered." Very important to remember what's the most important in your life when you're trying to build new habits. He says that your next step is simple. You are the first domino. That's part of a whole entire concept that Gary puts forth in the book, The One Thing. Extraordinary results happen only when you give the best you have to become the best you can be at your most important work. With that, we'll move on to the next book, which is book number 6. Of course, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Couldn't have a book on habits without this book. Stephen R. Covey. Great quotes. Here we go. "But until a person can say deeply and honestly, 'I am today because of the choices I made yesterday,' that person cannot say, 'I choose otherwise.'" Very important to take responsibility for where you are currently based on the habits that you've let yourself build. Now we'll talk about the 7 different habits. Habit number 1 is be proactive. Habit number 2, begin with the end in mind. Habit number 3, put first things first. Habit 4, think win-win. Habit number 5, Seek first to understand, then to be understood. Habit number 6 is synergize, and habit number 7 is sharpen the saw. Very important book to read if you're an entrepreneur or you're just looking to be a highly effective person, from Stephen Covey. Now we'll move on to the very next book, which is book number 7 and the final book in our list, The 80-20 Principle by Richard Koch. Being mostly correct and decisive typically yields better results than taking the time to figure out what works, what perfectly is correct. The most successful people change the world not through sweat and tears, but through ideas and compassion. It is not a matter of hard work or time on the job. It is having a different view on an original idea, something that expresses their individuality and creativity. Success comes from thinking, then acting on those thoughts, and that's the basis of habit. There are a few people who want to achieve, and then there are the sane people. That's an interesting quote that I pulled out from the book as well. And with that, that was our final book in the list. Again, I'm Ethan Schwant. I'm an entrepreneur and a coach. Create book lists just like this one, mind map videos, which take those books and do a much more in-depth review on them, help you pull out some of the big ideas. You can support the channel by clicking on the courses and coaching available at the links down below. And with that, I'll leave you with a couple of mind map suggestions, and hopefully we'll see you in those videos. We're looking forward to seeing you in the next one.